guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. This is going to be my third story of the day, but I when I read this, I'm like, you know what? This is what happens when women get in science, when women get in government, when women get in all the things. It's about the feelings. How do we make everybody feel okay? You know, for the longest time, we had word definitions, we had math, we had everything worked just perfectly fine all throughout history. And then women started getting involved in things. And then it's all about feelings. And, we don't want to follow statistics. It might hurt someone's feelings. Well, this is from Johns Hopkins. And this is actually the story about the pushback. But John Hopkins pulls the lesbian definition after uproar over the use of non-men instead of women. The university's online glossary of LDHD TV terms and identities defined the word lesbian as a non-man attracted to non-men before it was taken down. Now, the truth of it is, it's a woman that loves a woman, period, end of statement. But what is a woman? What is a woman? Well, when you can't define woman, you certainly can't define a woman that loves another woman. And what's funny is they're now defining women as non-man, which means that men are the default, which is kind of awesome. You know, for a bunch of loony feminists, it's nice to recognize that they see us as the default. But here's the problem. Let's say that we use this definition, non-man attracted to a non-man. Now we go back to my thumbnail. Why do I have a picture of Walker, my dog, on my thumbnail? Because Walker is not a man, and Walker loves me. And now this says, is it attracted to? Attracted to. Okay, so let's change that because Walker's not attracted to me. Walker is, however, attracted to other female dogs. So now my dog, technically, he's not a man, and the dog that he's attracted to is not a man, so my dog is now a lesbian. Now, Tim Pool, actually, I was watching him earlier today about this story, and he said magnets are attracted to each other. Does that mean magnets are lesbians? Static electricity makes other objects like cling wrap stick and attract to other things. Does that mean saran wrap and my bowl? Or no? You see how crazy this is. But this is what happens when you do this kind of thing. And when a non-man. But they did this to be inclusive of the T of the LDHD TV community. Screenshots of the glossary before it was taken down showed that the university defined it as non-man attracted to non-man. It added that while past definitions have referred to these women as women who are attracted to other women, the updated definition is intended to be non-binary people who may identify with the label. Okay, so they wanted to be non-binary. All right. So woman, men, non-man. How does that's still binary? Because now you're just taking away women and you're saying men and non-men. That's still only two. That's still binary by definition. But this is what happens when you put dumb people in smart places of power. They say it serves as an introduction to the range of identities and terms that are used within the community. It's not intended to serve as the definitive answer. Well, then what is a definition if not the definitive answer? That's what a definition is, to define the object. What is this object? What is the color green? What is water? What is wet? What is a man? See, when you get into this word language stuff, this is where you're going to get in trouble. And that's where 1984 comes in. I mean, we're literally, 1984 is just 40 years too late. It's 2024. They say while the glossary is a resource posted on the website of the Johns Hopkins University office, people are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to go to these schools, by the way. This is how you know who the dumb people are? The ones that have the degrees. You know who the smart ones are? The ones that are smart enough not to pay that money to go get taught how to be stupid. That's where we are right now. The definitions were not reviewed or approved by ODI leadership and the language in question has been removed pending review. In other words, they got so much backlash of smart asses like me making fun of them that they said, okay, take this down. We'll have to think about this. Screenshots of the glossary sparked online firestorm in recent days. Lesbian was literally the only word in English language that is not tied to a man, as in male, female, man, woman. Tennis star Martina Navratilova, who is a lesbian, tweeted Monday. So here you've got a woman that loves other women that is like, what are you doing? So she's making fun of it. J.K. Rowling, she chimed in on the matter, tweeting to her 14 million followers, man, no definition needed. Non-man, formerly known as woman, a being definable only by the reference to the male, an absence, a vacuum where there is no manness, which is accurate. Someone says this war on women has to stop. First, allowing biological boys to play girl sports, now defining a woman as non-man. And here's what's so funny about all of this, right? Is these are the kind of the goofies that all this got started. This is what's so weird about all of this, right? All of this got started by feminists and intersectional feminism. That's where all this got started. So women came forward, the weird women that hated men, and they came forward with this weird feminism. And then they started applying the same theories to people of color. And now they're putting it to the different LDHD TV communities and all these other ones, the Rainbow Coalition. But here's the problem. What they've done by allowing men that want to be women to participate in sports, they're hurting women. So ironically, feminists are hurting women. Now, to be protective and all-inclusive of the T of the LDHD TV community, they're now also defining women as not men so as not to hurt the T community, which ironically are men that want to be women. And so they will hurt women to include men that want to be women into the community. Do you see how this works? That's the irony. And why this doesn't work is, there's a story now out of Michigan and that I talked about the other day where Muslim and Christian kind of bonded together and did protests at some of these, school events where they're teaching the kids about the Rainbow Coalition. And there was a lot of pushback. And what's really interesting is Democrats, leftists, and feminists pushed back against the Muslim community. But just a couple of years ago, these were the same communities that were saying we must respect and support the wishes of these immigrants coming into the country. We need to believe their religious beliefs and all the things and be all inclusive until it doesn't line up with their narrative anymore. And now those communities are the bad ones because they're not all in on the other stuff. See, when you say diversity is a strength, it's really not. And the problem with these, leftoids and everybody else pushing this stuff is you're going to find out that, for example, all the people coming into the country over the southern border that are immigrants, illegal immigrants, they're like 60 or 70% like Christian. I think Catholic, but I do know they're Christian. And then you're opening borders to people from South Africa, and a lot of them are Muslim. You're going to find that they're not going to put up with the same crap. And ironically, opening the borders may be the final death knell to, all the leftisms and all their, because they're not going to put up with it. They're not going to put up with it. We put up with a lot. I mean, Americans in general put up with a lot. We're a pretty open country. I've traveled around the country. The Japanese were not, in small town Japan, they weren't so cool with me because they don't get a whole lot of, the white devil out there in the middle of nowhere, Japan. They were polite to me, but it was a very formal polite. It wasn't like a, hey, how you doing? You know what I mean? That's Japan. Same thing in South Korea. Southeast Asia was pretty nice, but the Chinese are not kind to black people in many instances. We know this. America is one of the most, like, you just do you, man, and it's been taken advantage of. But I tell you, not for much longer, because the new Americans that are coming, they're not going to put up with it, and I think that's kind of funny. Last little story, just a little blurb, because a lot of times these, it's not enough to make a full video out of. I just did the California's collapsing the other day. AT&T is closing downtown San Francisco flagship store. Twitter has stopped paying its rent on San Francisco, and Elon Musk's probably going to let it go back to the bank. Because Elon's like, I don't need to borrow any money for my company, so who cares if the Twitter company gets dinged as far as its credit rating, because I don't need to take a loan out. I'm worth hundreds of billions of dollars, so who cares? So he's just stopped paying. San Francisco is in full-on collapse. I forget what the other city, Chicago. They just, they got rid of Lori Lightfoot, and now they have this new, even more leftist, like socialist mayor that's come in, and crime has spiked up 32 or 38%. I forget the number exactly, 30-something percent higher than what it's been in Chicago over the last couple of years. I'm telling you guys, get out of these cities. They're going to be ghost towns. They're going to be dangerous. They're not going to offer you anything. Get out when the getting's good. That's all I'm telling you. Get out when the getting out is good. All right, guys, I will leave it there. I got tons of stuff to do, and the sun is setting. I have to go bathe myself out of a bucket of rainwater until I get a shower built here. The challenges are fun, I'll tell you, man. Living on a little scrap of land in the middle of nowhere, the hardship is real, but I'll tell you, it's fun. It's fun. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next one.